Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to this December 9th joint Records and Public Safety and Government Oversight Committee meeting. First item on the agenda is the call to order and the roll call. Mike, are we going to do the roll call like we've been doing it since we've been doing this remotely? You want to call it out?
Yes, I'll go ahead and do that.
Thank you.
Thanks. Chair Smith.
Chair Smith, remote from Macomb Township, Macomb County, Michigan.
Commissioner Duge.
Reporting remotely from Warren, Michigan, Macomb County.
Commissioner Sauger.
Yeah, checking in from Center Line, Michigan.
Commissioner Kleinfeld.
Commissioner Kleinfeld, East Point, Macomb County, Michigan.
Commissioner Romano.
Commissioner Romano, District 4, Sterling Heights, present and participating remotely in Macomb County, Michigan.
Commissioner Mindjack. Commissioner Mindjack. No, he was just entering the room. So Commissioner Brown. You have to unmute Commissioner Brown. We see you trying, Commissioner Brown. Do you see an unmute button? Is it working? We'll come back as we get that resolved. Commissioner Kraft.
Commissioner Kraft attending remotely, Chesterfield Township, Macomb County, Michigan.
Commissioner Leonetti.
Commissioner Leonetti attending remotely from Mount Clemens, Michigan.
Commissioner Brown attending remotely from Washington Township, Macomb County, Michigan.
Thank you, Commissioner Brown.
Yes, thank you.
Commissioner Haw.
Commissioner Haw attending remotely, Roseville, Macomb County, Michigan.
Thank you, Commissioner Lucido. And that completes the roll call, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mike. All right, at this point, then, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. So please, if you can, stand. I'm going to stand and look at this flag here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, to the republic, with individual liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, we're going to move on now to the adoption of the agenda. We need a motion to adopt today's agenda.
So Romano adopts the agenda.
By Romano, support.
By Brown.
Basically defending.
I heard some support from somebody. Anybody?
Commissioner Brown.
Okay, support by Brown. All those in favor vote, please.
Mike, it didn't come up on my screen yet.
Do you want to go ahead and voice?
Yeah, folks, if you can, please mute. If there's any folks out there, just mute until you have an opportunity to talk. We're getting a lot of cross static here. All right, we're going to move on now to public participation. Is there anybody out there in the public that would like to talk about any items that are on today's agenda? You have an opportunity to talk about any items on the agenda. Anybody out there in the public wish to address this body? Going once, going twice, third time. I don't hear anybody for public participation. We're going to close public participation. We're going to move on now to Records and Public Safety Department recommendations. We have two of them here, items 5A and B from the Sheriff's Department. I believe it was Captain Brimmy. If you want to come up and talk about item 5A. Are you there?
Yes, Captain Briney, can you hear me?
Okay. Captain Brimey, hold on. I'm going to ask for a motion before you begin.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion by Romano and supported by Romano. Go ahead, Captain.
Thank you for having me today. Appreciate you guys fitting this in. We're looking to purchase from NOR Technologies 5 drones. The first drone is DJI Matrix 300 RTK Combo Shield Plus. The other 4 drones are smaller in size. They're Mavic 2 Enterprises with smart controllers. In August 2020, we experienced a total loss crash with one of our DJI Matrix 210 drones due to a technical malfunction while searching for a missing endangered juvenile in Macomb Township. To replace this exact unit would cost about $22,000. Through an insurance contract that we had purchased for this drone, we received $17,932 from the insurance claim, which will go towards this purchase also. The DJI Matrix 300 RTK is an upgrade and is the future replacement model for the Matrix 210. The 4 Mavic 2 Enterprise are equipped with FLIR and are more compact. These can be used on smaller scenes and will be used more on a daily occurrence for us. We use these many times out there for mostly unfortunate situations, search and rescues for missing persons and or endangered missing persons, suicidal persons. The thermal camera that the DJI Matrix 300 is equipped will allow personnel to cover much more area and more efficiently at night and all times of the day. The camera also allows for a live stream that will feed to any screens of our choosing, our dispatch center, our mobile command, and our investigative offices. It also helps us during catastrophic events such as flooding, storm damage, active shooters, and any large-scale event that could disrupt our communities. We can monitor and assess without going into harm's way with these drones. This will allow for a safer response for both the members of the community and for responding personnel. We're looking to purchase these out of the Sheriff's Operation Fund as well as Law Enforcement Fund and our Evidence Fund. The total amount purchased here will be $43,798.80.
I got a real quick question before we go to some commissioners. Does that include the insurance proceed monies that we received or no?
Yes. That
is part of the 43?
Yeah.
That was a yes?
Yes, that's correct, sir.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, thank you. Okay, we do have some questions from some commissioners. Commissioner Kleinfeld, you're up first.
Thank you, Chair. I noticed that the Nerds Incorporated, it says order, I think it's a quote. Great Lakes is a quote. But the NOR, their invoices, they're not quotes, and the order date is 12/1. Have these already been, and your recommendation was to ratify the purchase, not to approve it? Have these already been purchased?
The purchase was already en route until what happened was that it all adds up from the same vendor, over 30,000. So there was some misunderstanding of that. The $17,000 brought it underneath that, so we didn't have to go to board. But now that they combined them with the same vendor, it went above that 30,000.
Right, because they were purchased on the same day, and I absolutely understand the misunderstanding. I understand how that could happen. So I'm not looking to pass judgment, but have we already purchased these?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Romano.
Thanks, Chair. First of all, Cap, I totally support this, but just a couple of questions here with the how much training is needed for, and I realize it's just like a board game or that you're handling, but how much training is needed? How many officers can actually handle these? Are we saying 5 or 4? And how far is the distance? You mentioned that it goes all the way to command center, but are we talking something within a mile radius, or does it go all the way back to Comtech? Where is that at that it goes all the way back to, and how much training do the officers need in order to manipulate these?
We have trained, we have like 10 officers trained. They're on each shift, our midnights, afts, and days. The total amount of training, I know we sent them to training, but I couldn't give you the exact amount of hours on that training. And
how about distance?
There is technology. I'm not sure what the square miles is, but I know it's a long distance because we've looked for suicidal subjects within a square mile radius, about 2 mile radius. I know that from being out there.
That's all I have, Chair. Thank you, Cap.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Romano. Okay, there's a motion on the table. Doesn't appear to be any other speakers. So let's please vote on item 5A.
That motion passes 10-0.
Thank you. We're going to move on now to 5B. Before we begin, Captain, I'm going to get a motion from the commissioners. Looking for a motion to approve 5B.
So move, Mr. Chair.
Support
Sound like
Romano.
Don Brown, support.
Romano.
Supported by Romano. Okay. Captain, go ahead.
Okay, this purchase we're requesting is for tasers and tasers equipment totaling $509,588.30. It's a large purchase. However, these tasers will be distributed to our command officers, our Combat Division, Dakota, our front desks, jail command, our K-9 deputies, our Mace office, our Marine Division, Mount Clemens, substation, Romeo Court, the evidence techs or transport, jail ops and administration. Our indigent program will have 2, Romeo Court. We'll have at circuit courts, deputies. Our county, New Haven cars will get it. Our friend of the court, Harrison Township. Our jail, Lenox Township, Macomb Township, Mats. Road command, set, traffic, Washington Township, and we'll have 2 spares, and the training department will get a couple also. The Taser 7 will be purchased we'll be purchasing from Axon Industries. The purchase we're making is the Taser 7. It's a new platform for a less lethal weapon. The system is more effective than the previous versions of tasers. This is a semi-automatic system that allows. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Captain. You're kind of fading in and out a little bit, but go ahead.
Okay. Can you hear me, everybody? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, the system is more effective than the previous versions of the tasers. This is a semi-automatic system that allows for different cartridges to be loaded for different distances and can be switched with the flick of a wrist so that the appropriate cartridge is selected. 93% increased probe spread to a close range, where 85% of deployments occur, according to our reports. Am I still in and out, or are we okay?
Well, you're good right now. You're good right now.
The taser darts fly straighter and faster with nearly twice the kinetic energy for better connection to the target in the body, and the dart breaks away to allow for attainment at tough angles. Electricity is intentionally driven between all contacts to maximize the effectiveness of the probe deployment and to help compensate for close probe spreads. These tasers are warranted for 5 years. The ones we have are going out of warranty, and there's no clear-cut failure date for these items. They can last for several years, or they can fail very soon. The only time you know if it fails, if it actually fails when we do the testing, or if we're out on a scene and we go to use it and it fails. And we don't want that, that's for sure. The experts, Axon will not provide experts for liability reasons if the weapons are used after a warranty period, and our tasers will be out of warranty period. The Sheriff's Office, as well as the entire community, benefit as a new platform. It's safer, more effective, and will allow us to train more efficiently as well as more precisely. This is achieved by the following. For the last 4 years, our multiple discharge rates, which is how many times we had to discharge the taser more than once at a suspect, are between 19% and 27.5%. During the summer, our rates were lower, and in colder months, they were higher. This is due to several reasons: accuracy, probe penetration, because in the winter they wear the more clothes, and the probes being pulled out. The new taser is far more accurate as a design of the taser gives a laser light at both the top and the bottom probe, which we only had one before. This allows for the operator to know where the probes will hit. The probes also have a spiral flight to them, making them more accurate in flight to the suspect. In addition to that, the wire spools out from the probe to the taser, making the wire breakage less likely, and breakaway design allows for the probe to stay in the subject instead of the subject being able to hit it real quick and knock it out. Because as soon as we shoot it, sometimes from being out there from experience, we'll shoot the subject, and as soon as they go to shoot it, they wave their arm down and break it off. Well, these new ones, it snaps off, but the wire, the little casing will snap off, but the wire stays connected. And they can also go to pull it, and you can't pull it out because it just keeps coming out. So it's designed much better with the new technology. What this does, it reduces the disconnection of the probes and leads to a smaller number of cycles needed, as well as more effective control of the subject. Another redesigned feature of the new cartridges is the probe itself. They're designed to stay attached with more barbs and a harder impact when it strikes a suspect. I had a chance to shoot these, and it's a lot faster and strikes the suspect a lot harder. Another issue that deputies face both in the jail and on the road is that the probes are not always able to spread out before contact with the suspect. The new system has a closer quarter cartridge that allows for a quicker probe spread, better for anticipation of suspects. The deputy needs a cartridge with less probe spread. The new system has 2 cartridges and allows for the deputy to choose the right one with a small turn of the taser. This allows our deputies to have the right tool for the job. The new system allows for an arc warning without removing the cartridge for a safer deterrent, as well as re-energizing it and deploy the cartridge without firing the second cartridge. It's another thing. It has 2 shots, 2 cartridges, not just one. So we only had 1 shot before, and now we have 2. The new system has rechargeable batteries so that we would not have to purchase batteries every year. And part of the new rechargeable battery system is that the taser will have software system updates when recharged. This allows for better updating of the software. The updates also download all firing data, with each recharge as well. This gives us a better access to all the taser evidence. We don't have to go back to the station after it's shot. We can download it at the substation, so the deputies don't have to come all the way back. The advantage of the new system it has over the current system is that we would be able to assign cartridges to individuals and track them with the evidence system. This will allow us to better account for any cartridges as well as the tasers. The new plan also allows us for unlimited duty cartridges, so no matter how many we use on duty, we would get replacements free of charge. The same would also apply to training cartridges, which is we use a lot. We would be able to train as much as needed with free replacement cartridges. The new plan allows for free master instructor and user instructor classes. We'd be able to have a master instructors on the department and would be able to certify as many instructors as we wanted without cost. This allows our department to have elevated training as well as a higher level of instructors for reduced liability. The plan is also included virtual reality headsets for training and de-escalation, as well as additional decision-making training. This will integrate with our simulator training to allow both the decision-making training as well as skills development. And the new plan allows us to capture all training records within the evidence and training programs provided. This gives us more accountability and customizable training to better train our deputies in command. Included in this plan are holsters. They have cartridge holders. This gives us the ability to insure several cartridges to our personnel and have them readily available for multiple subjects or situations where additional cartridges are needed to be utilized for less lethal force. When our communities have better equipped and better trained deputies, all of us benefit because less force is used and less injuries are suffered by citizens as well as deputies. So we're looking to take $200,000 out of our prisoner medical fund, and we're putting into our general fund. So, and then we're going to do a payment plan over 5 years.
Okay. Great report. Thank you. Very detailed. Appreciate that. there are no other commissioners, but I do have a question. You kind of answered it, I guess. So this is a complete like revamp of every taser we have in the department, right? I mean, because the other ones are out of warranty, and so we're buying these whole new ones, presumably to cover us for the next 5 years. Is that correct?
Exactly. And the way they shoot, I've been at several scenes out in the world where we've had people have knives to their throats and several suicidal subjects in different situations where these shoot a lot farther and faster and pulsate a lot quicker. It's going to be a lot better for our guys out there.
Good. So it's not only a replacement, it's an upgrade.
It's a massive upgrade, yes.
Okay, great. That's great. I don't see any other commissioners, so we have a motion on the table, so please vote.
Romano votes verbally, yes.
Okay.
That motion passes 10-0.
Okay, thank you, Captain. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone.
You got
Thank
it.
you.
Take
Have a good
care.
day.
All right, item 6, moving forward here is public safety correspondence. We have the court chronicles for December 2020. We also have a State of Michigan Department of Health and Human Services letter dated October 27th. I'm looking for...
Motion to receive and file A and B.
Excellent. That's from Duje. Who's going to support it? Supported by Haw. Okay. Let's move on now. We don't need to vote on a motion to receive and file. You'd think I know this by now.
I will go ahead and prompt that vote, Commissioner Leonetti.
All right.
Romano verbally votes yes.
Okay.
That motion passes 10-0.
Great. Thank you very much. This will close the records and public safety portion of this meeting. I'm going to turn it over to Commissioner Brown to head up government oversight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate that. Item number 7 on government oversight is a Brownfield Redevelopment Authority executive appointments with concurrence of the board. There are 3 vacancies for 3-year terms. Dana Camphouse Peterson, David Scruto, and Mrs. Ronschwar. I believe one of them is in attendance. If you are in attendance, I wonder if you'd unmute your phone, *6, and you can address the board if you'd like.
Hello, this is Juliana Mrs. Revere.
Hello, Juliana. Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate it. Give us a little background about yourself and your interest in this authority.
Yes, so I was asked to complete the application to serve on this board, and I was delighted for the appointment. And I am the current Shelby Township Planning Director, and I've been at this position for approximately 1.5 years now. However, I've been with the Shelby Township government offices for 19 years and working directly in planning for over 13 years. I have extensive experience in site planning and reviews, coordination and implementation of township and economic development. Also, I have knowledge in theory and principles in the planning profession. So also, I work with a number of committees. I work with the Planning Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals here, and I have knowledge of federal, state, and local laws. So I'd be delighted to serve on this board. I appreciate the opportunity for this appointment.
Great, thank you. Is there any questions? I don't see any on my screen. Does anyone want? Is there anyone else from this board? We're going to receive and file this and forward this to the full board where they will officially take place, Juliana.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Chair, if you could ask everybody to mute, I had a hard time hearing her.
Everyone, please mute your phones. All right, very good. All right. I need a motion to forward this to full board.
So move, Haw.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman Haw. Mr. Haw, who else?
Start. Romano supports.
Very good. Please vote.
Romano votes verbally yes.
Thank you, Commissioner.
That motion passes 10-0.
Very good. Item 7B, Brownfield Redevelopment Authority. There's one vacancy. Bonnie Slater is here with us today, I believe. And Bonnie, if you would do the same as the prior speaker, if you unmute your phone and
Sure.
tell us a little bit about your background and what you bring to the authority.
All right. Many of you know me. My name is Bonnie Mcinerney Slater. I currently work for the City of New Baltimore and kind of oversee many roles there. Started my career as an assistant city attorney in Mount Clemens, where I transitioned into administration, working as the community development director for several years. From there, I went to the City of Warren, where I was the DDA director and TIFA director and economic development at one point. And then from there to New Baltimore. So I have a long career of working in community development, working with the Macomb County Planning Department on various brownfield type projects, and I would be honored to serve on this board.
Very good. As you may be aware, the county just recently received, as we do most years, $300,000 from the EPA for the brownfield redevelopment projects, and we receive that again this coming year. That's definitely a plate of money that we hope generally doesn't go begging. Do you expect more of the same for the coming year?
I would expect so. Yeah, I think there's a lot of projects. I know in New Baltimore we have a lot going on right now, and I think there's a lot of need for it.
Yeah, for sure. Commissioners, anyone have any questions of Bonnie?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Commissioner Dujay.
I'm very happy to see this happening. I've had the pleasure of serving on the TIFA board in Warren and working with Bonnie Mcinerney Slater. I think this is a terrific choice. She's done a terrific job in Warren, and I'm sure she's doing a great job in New Baltimore. And I'd like to be the individual that makes the motion to receive and file this and move it on the full board. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Very good.
Thank you.
Commissioners have any other questions of Bonnie? Bonnie, we thank you for your continued service.
I got just one question.
Please, go ahead. Go ahead.
Not really a chair, just to say hi to Bonnie and congratulations. Always good to see you again, and good to see that you're involved in something else too. You stay busy.
I do. Thank you.
You got it. Good seeing you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you and to everyone.
Thank you, Commissioner Leonetti. I need a motion to file this and send it to full board. Commissioner Dujay.
I make the motion. I think Commissioner Kleinfeld still is up for a statement.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't see it. Sorry, Bonnie.
Thank you.
Commissioner, go ahead.
That's all right. Go ahead.
All right.
I'll support Commissioner Dujay's motion. Bonnie's fantastic.
Thank you.
All right. Please vote.
Romano verbally votes yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Romano. We've got you.
That motion passes 10-0.
Very good. Thank you, Bonnie, and that will be confirmed to the full board.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. Item number 8. Commission review of loans. This is a bypass item, COVID agreement with Baker Business College for COVID-19 testing and vaccination site. It's at $10,000 per month. We need a motion to receive this.
Motion to receive and file.
Is there support?
Support Leonetti.
Thank you, Commissioner Leonetti. Vicki, did you want to say anything about this?
Sure, I can just give a brief overview on it, and thank you for approving it through the bypass process. As you know, we've been looking for an indoor site for our employees to get out of the weather to operate really a testing site at this point in time. So over the past couple of months, various people and really with the planning department looking for different sites for us to operate still a drive-through site, but again, offer that indoor capability for the personnel. We were able to find Baker College, and we came to a very quick agreement with Baker College. And obviously we wanted to get the agreement signed as soon as possible so we could start transitioning over to our new testing site that will be run out of there. So great progress has been made. The site is checked out well with inspections through Clinton Township, and we should be moving our site over there for testing next week. So we're very pleased for that. And again, thank you for putting that through the bypass process and helping us get in there quickly.
The current facility we've been using, we've been pushing a lot of people through there on a daily basis. Do you anticipate the same amount of volume going through this location, or what's your expectations for the volume going through this site?
Yeah, I think initially, just because it's a new site, it may move a little slower just as people get acclimated to it. And, depending on the numbers for a while we had high testing numbers. I think our highest in one day was 789. I can state since the Thanksgiving holiday, we're back averaging maybe 400 cars a day. And so, yes, I envision us being able, to keep up with the 400 cars and then see where that takes us. And we have other plans in place in case we don't have the same throughput that we were at when we were doing almost 700 cars a day. We do have other options that we're looking at, but there's a number of private sites up in the county as well that have been operating. So right now, based on where we're at with demand, we should be good to go.
Very good. It's related just because it's part of the testing site. Have any of the report that was given yesterday, I think by you or someone on your team, about the percentage of people that are reporting positive as they're coming through that test site? Was it 16%? I believe I read. That's a lot of people that have COVID coming through that our employees are interacting with. Has there been an undue number of employees that have been part of this process, testing them, coming down with COVID? What's been the damage, if you will, of our employees being on the front line doing this testing with so many sick people coming through there?
To be honest, I believe that at the testing site, top of my head, I think we've maybe had one or two. And I believe one of those was from the staffing company that we're using. So also at the testing site there, because of the risk, the people that are doing the actual tests are basically in full PPE gear. So they have booties on, they have Tyvek on over their clothes, they have the face shield in addition to the face mask, gloves. So they're pretty well protected, and obviously I think that is obviously helping to keep those numbers down, so the risk is lower.
Yeah, I knew that from personal experience going through there, but there's just a reminder that our employees are at risk doing these things, so we appreciate it. Commissioner Kleinfeld.
Thank you, Chair. Vicki, we're going to have to be doing this like all over the county. I mean, this is not just testing those that show up. This is everybody. And I think we're going to start correct with like frontline workers and how are we going to determine that? How do we determine some of these positions? They're not going to come with IDs and things like that. And we're having a turnover at the health department at a really busy time. Have you guys thought about that, or do you have any ideas on that?
Sure. And for one, the Baker College site, granted, in the lease agreement, it talks about vaccinations. We are not planning to do vaccinations at this site right now, so we are only going to do testing initially. It's this site will replace our outdoor site over off of North Rose. So our vaccination site, the county one that we're going to operate initially, is over at the Verkulen building, is where we're planning for that site. And there are tiered groups, and those groups are prescribed by the federal and the state government. And so what the health department and their team is working on with other partners is to, within those tiered groups, how many people do we think are within those tiered groups? What other sites are going to be doing vaccinations? And so that's the numbers that we're looking at and seeing what we can do. Initially, the numbers of people being tested and with the vaccine that'll be available will be low. But when you look at those tier groups, I think EMS is one of those first groups with hospital workers. The hospitals are going to get their own vaccine. So we won't need to take care of everybody. Same thing in the rest of the community. So eventually other partners to play in handling certain areas. There are a couple of pharmacies that we believe that will be tasked with doing the long-term care facilities. So we won't necessarily have to go out into those facilities. If the long-term care centers partner with those pharmacies, they will be doing that. So there's a lot of moving pieces, as you can imagine, right now with the vaccines and the tier groups and even just with the quantities that we'll be getting.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Kleinfeld. Anyone else wish to be heard on the subject? Okay, I need a motion to approve and send to full board.
Moved by Leonetti.
Support.
Thank you. Got a motion and support from
Point of order,
Leonetti.
Mr. Chair. This was already approved. It's just a receive and file.
Right, it's a receive and file. There was already a motion and support.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we bypassed. That's correct. Yeah. All right. Very good. Very good. Commissioner Romano, are you set?
Please vote yes for Commissioner Romano.
Very good. Thank you.
Duge votes yes.
Very good. Thank you.
That motion passes 10-0.
Thank you, Vicki. Item 9 is a presentation from the Detroit Institute of Arts. Salvador, what do you want? Or David?
Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, commissioners. We just want to quickly introduce our team. As always, we have Julie McFarland from Public Affairs, Christine Klostra from our Marketing and Communications Department, the Director, Judith Dolkart, Deputy Director, Salvador, who everybody knows, and I believe Jean Gargaro might be on the call as well. We passed along some information in regards to our program plan. We passed along some information to commissioners about the hours the museum's open, our safety precautions that we're taking, links to our virtual programs for schools and seniors, as well as the community partnerships that we continue to do for Inside Out and Neuro projects. But really, Salvador and I and Jean wanted to just come out here because there's so much transition happening at the county, and we want to just thank all the commissioners that we've been working with for the past 4 or 5 years. Thank you for allowing us to come out and give presentations and discuss what we do. And it's really helped us become better at what we do in terms of our programming, our marketing, our outreach, and making sure citizens know that there's a return on their investment for the millage that they generously pay for. And so we're not going to give a presentation like we usually do. We just wanted to come out here and thank everybody for their thoughtful input and their questions. Obviously, 8 new commissioners will be on this board, and Commissioners Duge and Sauger and Myjack, Lucido, Leonetti, Gillette, Carabelli, and Chair Smith won't be here in January. But the DIA is a place that we want everybody to know that no matter what position you're in, we're going to continue to outreach to you. We know you have great networks and connections in the community, and we want to stay in touch with each and every one of you, whether you're on this board or not. And personally, it's been a privilege to serve in numerous capacities with all of you, and I wish you well in your next endeavors. Before I pass it along to Salvador, I just want to wish everybody a happy holiday and a Merry Christmas, and know that, you can always outreach to Salvador, myself, and Jean, and I'll pass it along to Salvador.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave, and just want to join Dave Flynn's remarks. We're extremely grateful for the work that we've been able to do with this commission. It's been terrific. I think this commission has made the DIA a better organization, and there are tangible examples out there like the Star Wars exhibition or the car design exhibition that we have right now on view at the DIA. You all help us open our minds, be more inclusive, and serve better the community. So this is a moment for us to say thank you, to say that we don't forget, that we are always there. I know there is transition, but those who leave can always pick up the phone, call my office for whatever I can do. I will be helpful to you at the residents of Macomb County. And we look forward to work with the new members of the commission and continue learning from this experience. This has been an experience of co-creation, and it is when people work in collaboration that we can get the best out of ourselves and the best out of the DIA for the benefit of the residents of Macomb County. So thank you very much, and happy holidays to everyone.
Thank you, Salvador. Thank you, David. What are the new initiatives planned for outreach? Are there going to be any new initiatives for outreach that the DA is going to undertake in Macomb and in Southeast Michigan that are different than what we've experienced in prior years? Any new initiatives coming forward?
We continue to working with the Arts Authority very closely, and we have adapted our programs for schools, for seniors, or for community partners to the environment that we are living with COVID-19, and that continues to be the plan for the moment. We are all looking forward to go back to what used to be, or at least a situation where we don't have a health problem in the community, and our goal is to continue meeting our high level of service for the schools, the seniors, and the community partners in Macomb County. We have the mural project, we have the Inside Out project, and we continue to speak with the Arts Authority about other possibilities as we want to really provide the highest level of education to the residents of Macomb County. We have great exhibitions coming up. We have a Van Gogh exhibition in 2022 and many other things. And as I mentioned, I really hope that the conversations continues and that you let us know what you want, what you hope the DI will do for the residents.
How's the COVID affected your operation down there? I mean, it limited operations.
Yes.
The cleaning of the facility all the time, and with your artwork, it probably creates some unique challenges. Maybe talk a little bit about that.
Yes, Commissioner Brown. We work with a consulting firm out of Ann Arbor. It's called NSF International, and we opened the museum in July, and since then we've been open. We have the highest level of safety protocols in place. We require masks in the building, face masks. We do temperature scanning at the entrance. We have the visitors comply with social distancing, and we have limited numbers of visitors in the building. We continue to follow the guidance of the medical authorities and our governor, and so far I have to report that since July we have not seen anybody on our team test positive for COVID-19, which is great, and we don't know of any visitors that acquire the virus in the building. So protocols are very safe. We do evaluation every week with our visitors, and with their feedback, we continue to improve our protocols. So it's limited number of people in the building, but We have the great exhibition with car design, and people are coming from all the counties. And I think it's important to keep the museum open as long as it's safe for everyone. So the museum is on mission, is serving the counties, is serving Macomb. And also the museum has become a place of peace for many people who just want to, have a moment of calmness, or has become really a place for healing. So with all the deaths that we have in the community with COVID-19, and we want to provide that support to the residents.
How has it affected your budget in terms of additional expenditures plus revenue down from the enrollment from people coming in?
Yes, we had revenue down. We had to have other expenses that are related to COVID-19 protocols. However, we budgeted with a very lean budget for this fiscal year. We also took a pay cut at the executive level of 20% of our salaries, and we created a sustainability fund that has raised already over $1 million. And I think with all those measures in place, we're going to be able to push through the year and end up breaking even at the end.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Commissioner Kleinfeld.
Thank you. I just wanted to say Salvador came up to East Point for the unveiling of the Rainbow Maker by Wendy Potko. It's absolutely beautiful. I wish it was more visible, and I'm hoping that we can sort of start that to build more of those throughout the city and maybe even bring in some of the high school artists. But I very much appreciate you coming in for that celebration and unveiling, and it was a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. David, another question to David. The outreach to our senior centers. Many of our senior centers have bus systems that take them down to the various places. Is that being done in all of our senior centers? I know obviously Warren, Sterling Heights, Macomb County have big senior centers. They take a lot of seniors, but is that being marketed, that opportunity being marketed to every senior center in the county where people could take their bus trips down to the DIA and let them know about the value that they have available to them?
Commissioner, pre-COVID, we were communicating on a regular basis with every senior center that was government related. We communicated with every senior center that actually came down and did a visit with the museum. We communicated with libraries and local organizations for service clubs like Rotary and Lions clubs and things of that nature. Obviously, since COVID, we're not able to bring seniors down on a bus, or Salvador and I would be in the county jail. And so we hope for the time where we can come back and, have seniors come on a bus. But I think even after COVID and the vaccine, we've discussed that there'll probably be a residual effect where that program is going to take a little bit of time to come back. I think the school program will come back a lot sooner. But we communicate. We have a community leaders list with all these different organizations and leaders, and we ask them to pass that through their network. Obviously, people think the DIA is this huge organization, but actually our budget is under $40 million a year, and our communications budget is probably less than $1 million. So we rely on our community partners to really tell the story, and that's why Salvador and I and many people from our community engagement department come out and actually tell the DIA story, because we want them to, go out there and actually pass this along through their networks. But to answer your question, we communicate with every senior department that we have a list for. If you have certain groups that you want us to add to that, we're always happy to do that.
No, just a friendly reminder that sometimes people forget, so just good to keep up the reminders to them of the good values that are out there. So
it's about repetition. It's about repetition, because we can't tell it enough to build awareness, and we know that we consistently have to tell that story to make sure people know what their benefits are through this millage.
That's right. It is quite a sanctuary to be down there in the quiet and enjoy all the art that's down there in this stressful time for so many. So I'm glad that you're open. I really am. That's very important. So any other speakers? I don't see anyone on the list. Okay, well, I'll need a motion to receive and file this then, please. Thank you both for coming out again, and we'll see you after the first of the year when our new board takes office and do some education with all of them.
Thank you, Commissioner Brown.
Thank you.
All right, I need a motion.
Moved by Kleinfeld.
Support, Bourget.
Thank you. Please vote. Commissioner Romano and Duge, you both able to vote?
They both recorded a vote that passes 10-0.
All right, very good. All right, now item 10 is the resolutions. Item A, resolution recommending additional advisory committees for 2021 and 22 to the Board of Commissioners. Need a Chair Smith, did you want to speak on this?
Yeah, I'll speak on this, Don. Thank you.
Thank you.
This was just something to bring the new board up to make them aware of the fact that, you know, these advisory committees are allowable. And I will tell you that all the seniors in the adult committee, the adult advisory committee, have enjoyed their committee. They've done some good work. They feel like they're a part of things, and they really give us on the board a little bit of perspective. I know there's been some talk about having like a student advisory committee and things like that. This just puts forward the framework for the new board if they choose to jump on any of these committees. There's obviously it's not a mandate or anything like that. It basically just puts forward a recommendation that if you're going to do it, this is the format to do it in.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been very effective, and an expansion that's probably not a good idea. Is anyone else? Let me see.
Yes, Chair.
Yeah, fine. Commissioner Kleinfeld, I see you there. Thank you. Go ahead.
You know, I thought this was odd when I saw it because it's a resolution like from us to us. And then I thought, okay, it's a resolution from the old commission to the new commission. And I was just wondering if it would be better after the first of the year to have maybe have a presentation from our staff to talk about the Older Adult Advisory Committee and the, you know, that there may be ideas to put forward others rather than having this commission send a resolution to the incoming commission. That seemed a little uncomfortable to me, but I'm not against the idea. I wholeheartedly support the idea.
Yeah. Well, it's, you know, it may be a little unique in my tenure, but, you know, but really it's just a note to the future board. And I agree with you, though, a presentation afterwards by our staff about the good work that our advisory committee's done and the possible need to expand them in other areas for a variety of similar good reasons is probably in order as well. I have no issue about passing this now, though.
Don, if I could just speak to that, is anybody
please.
else speaking? Okay, thanks. I agree. It is a little unusual. The only thing is, it's very unusual to have 8 new board members. So, you know, because this is kind of a new thing, even with our board, it was more just of a recommendation from, I wouldn't say the experienced board, but in a board that's generally experienced, kind of to the new board coming in. Obviously, it's not, it doesn't bind anybody. And of course, I think it's a great idea to have everything brought out to the new commissioners when they come in, especially the older adult committee. You know, from our staff and from a few of the members there talking about the things that they've done and participated in and some of the recommendations that even come from our staff as far as the new committees that they've felt for a long time would benefit them and us as a board. So
Sure.
That's why I put this on.
Yeah, and I support it. That's why I put it on the agenda. I have no
thanks. I appreciate that.
Commissioner Duge.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm not so sure I agree with sending ourselves a advisory on this. I understand the idea behind it, but I'm not really comfortable on sending it to the new board, and they're going to have enough on their plate other than having to go through the testing or trying to figure out what other advisory committees they're going to have. I'm not going to support this. I understand why it's being done, but I think it's. I don't think that this board is in a position in order to hand it down to the next board. That's it. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, I respect that. Anybody else? I don't see anyone else on the list of speakers. Anyone else who want to say anything? Okay, well, I need a motion to approve. Can I get a motion?
I guess I'll make that motion.
All right. Moved by Bob.
Support Romano.
Support Romano. Any other discussion? All right, well, please vote. Okay.
That motion passes 8-2 with Commissioners Duje and Kleinfeld voting no.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Item 11 is new business. Any new business to come before the commission? Any new business?
Don, I have a bit of new business. I'm sorry.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
If I can jump on. I just wanted to acknowledge Rob Leonetti. This is his last meeting today that he will be chairing as a commissioner, and just wanted to give a little shout out to the great job that he did on his committee, and obviously the crazy pressure you were under with all of the jail stuff, and I mean working with the sheriff department and all of that on this. Rob, you put a lot on your shoulders, and we appreciate all the work you did, and just wanted to acknowledge that this was your last day, and I really appreciated you chairing that committee for me and for the board. So thank you, and I'm sure you'll miss that a ton.
Yeah, thank you, Chair Smith. Appreciate that. I think you speak for all of us on that regard. Commissioner Leonetti, like so many others, are going to be leaving us that have done good work for our board, and we're losing a lot of good talent. So. Any other new business?
Just wanted to thank you. Appreciate that. And I'll miss the work, and I'll miss working with all you folks. But, I'll be around. So
hey, we're going to call you back maybe. Who knows? Stand by. All right. I see other new. All right. Very good. Thank you. Anybody else under new business?
Yes, Chair. I wanted to point out with the drone purchase, I'm assuming that finance flagged it, and so I think we're really moving towards what we've all been trying to achieve, because even though the purchase was already made, I think that mistake won't continue to happen, and I'm not sure, but I'm suspecting that it got flagged out of finance, and if it did, I appreciate that, because it means we're headed in the right direction. That's all. Thank you, Chair.
That's right. That's long been a concern of ours. These multiple smaller purchases, adding going over the 35K is definitely something that we've wanted to pay attention to, and I hope it's a sign of good things to come. Anyone else?
Mr. Chair, I just wanted to wish our chairman, Bob Smith, a happy birthday yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday, Bob. Didn't know it was your birthday.
Thanks. I try to forget, so thank you very much.
Well, so, Mr. Smith, does that mean you're an ARP member now, or what?
Unfortunately, I've been for a few years.
Sorry.
Well, at least you didn't spend much money going out to eat, eh?
No, Bill Knapp's is closed.
Oh, yes. Okay. Thank you. Anybody else in a new business? Okay. We'll close that public participation. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to be heard? You can press *6 on your phone to unmute, and you have 5 minutes to speak on anything you wish. Public participation. Anyone under public participation wish to be heard? Anyone under public participation? Staff, is there anyone online that wanted to be heard that you're aware of?
Nobody's left a comment, Commissioner Brown.
All right, very good. All right, we'll close public participation. I need 13 item to adjourn. Need a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Commissioner
Support
Duje.
Romano.
Very good. Thank you, Commissioners. Please vote.
That motion passes 10-0.
Very good. Thank you, Commissioners. Have a good afternoon, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a good day.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Take care. I'll see you.